Hey, you've about got all the nitrogen and atrazine off the sprayer all cleaned up.
Yeah, I think all the nitrogen's off for sure. This atrazine's still got a couple little spots, but other than right here on the back glass, I believe it's all.
Well, with all the replanting mess we had to mess with last week, kind of took away a little bit of our free time, and wheat harvest is literally right around the corner. We got a lot to get ready.
Let's get it ready while we can then.
Before it gets blazing hot, you want to get the never-ending project done.
Yeah, might as well hit that gun.
We're down to, pretty much the last row of paddles, but I don't think we're going to need them all because we already got paddles, brand new paddles down here at the bottom of the elevator, and all we got to do is just go all the way up there. So I don't think we're going to have to use all of them.
We do have a couple more left to.
Yeah, I do think there was one or two.
But I don't think 100. And that.
You want to go ahead and carry us home then?
Well, let's do it.
All right. There, as you can see down there, we got a new paddle there. Just don't know how far up the new paddles are in the vertical pipe, so we could have a half-a-day job or we might have a 30-minute job. Just don't know. We didn't keep track of when the first new paddle came around there. How many days are we in on this project so far?
I think this is our 5th day, I feel like.
Yeah, I'd say we've put in at least 3 to 3.5, full days, because we weren't working on this whole days the whole time. But
yeah, we put a lot of hours in here. Maybe not just too many days, but there's been a lot of hours in here. Said the next one is a new paddle, so we're getting pretty close now.
Hey, it looks like we're gonna have quite a few spares over here to replace in future years. There it is, last one. We definitely did find the bad stretch. We had something like 25, 30, 40 paddles look like this almost in a row with only a couple of good ones in between. So that was definitely the cause of our problem of constantly choking up the bin. Well, you get that one tightened up, you should be able to throw all the wheat you want to at her and not choke her up this time.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be wide open this year.
All right, now that all the paddles are done, get another fun piece of maintenance on here. Yeah. We get to take a link out of the chain.
All right. So where's this link at? We gotta feed it around until.
It's gonna be on the other end. It's not as bad as you think.
Like to see how we do it then.
So, we'll get that done and we'll just about have this system ready for some wheat to go in.
Some brand new bins over here.
All right, well, we had to scratch work on the grain bin because I couldn't come up with a master link, a connecting link for the chain. Place that normally carries them did not have any, and they're looking for some. So I'd bring the planter here in the shop, do a little work on it. Had a hydraulic hose that was starting to seep around the swivel, but the main thing is going through here, and we're taking all the cotton plates out because I am done planting cotton. Regardless of what happens to the cotton crop, I'm done planting. And we are putting our corn plates back in because I got to go plant corn maize for the zombie trail and stuff. So plan on doing that here in a couple of days. But basically what we're doing here is, anyway, this is a cotton plate right here. We got a vacuum planter that pulls air through this plate, through the holes in the plate, and then as it pulls air, it sucks the seed up to each hole, and then the electric motor here spins this around, and then when it gets to a certain point here, the vacuum is cut off, and then the seed can then drop out right here and go down through the seed tube. So this is the plate that we use for cotton, and because of seed size and shape, we got to put different ones in for different crops. here's our cotton one right here. See, and then see here's our corn one here. See, it's got a lot bigger holes here because you got a lot bigger seed, plus it's got less cells around here. So we got to go through and swap out all the cotton plates for the corn plates. And then we got our little ejectors right here. There, we got different ones for both corn and cotton. And got to do that for all 12 units. Then it'll be ready to. Then it'll be ready to plant the corn maze. All right, plans changed in a hurry. Just got a call from Cotton Scout. 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers are wearing out the only good cotton we got. So, got to spray it first.
Yep, you need to get rid of that.
Yeah. I got enough chemical here in the shed. We'll go spray the Dunlap farm, and then we'll worry about the corn maze after that.
That sounds fine. So I'm gonna start pulling this water truck out real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull the truck down there with water. We need to flush the paraquat out of the sprayer. Then we'll load up. I'll go spray that real quick, and hopefully then we'll get on the corn maze.
Then we can do the corn maze.
All right.
All right. That sounds like.
All right, we're out here in our very first planted cotton, the cotton we didn't actually have to replant. And right now we got 4-leaf cotton, about where we want it to do have some thrip damage. You kind of see the crinkled up leaves, but this cotton's getting the bay about big enough that thrips are not going to be a concern. What we're out here spraying for today is 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers. And if you remember from last year, we had to take a stop wheat harvest to go spray one farm for 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers because it was that Thrive on cotton, and we had to spray it for thrips. Now this farm we have had to spray for thrips, but we changed up chemistries because the chemistry that we were using to control thrips is not quite as effective on them anymore because they get more resistant, and the new chemistry that we're spraying is not effective on 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers. So, you know, inadvertently, before when we've been spraying for thrips, we were killing off the 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers. Well, now that we changed chemistries to be more effective on thrips, 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers are now popping up, and that can be a problem in this green cover that we're planting into. So anyway, what 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers do is they'll get on the plant, and I can't see any damage. I mean, there's hot spots out here, and apparently my Cotton Scout found a hot spot, but this little area I'm in, I'm not seeing any damage. It might be here, but I'm just not trained enough to see it. But anyway, what 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers do is they get right there on the stem and they'll eat around the base of the stem. They'll girdle it, and what that does is that actually kills the entire plant. So like I said, right here in this area I'm not seeing anything, but when it comes to insects, you know, insects are not spread uniformly across the field. You got to check multiple spots, and you know, apparently there's several hot spots out here. So this is our best looking cotton, this is our oldest cotton, this is our highest yield potential cotton, and the last thing we want to do is lose any of our population out here to 3-cornered alfalfa hoppers. So that's why we changed gears real quickly, got loaded up, and come out here and spray it. You know, we saw what it did to the Thrive on cotton last year, where we were delayed in spraying it because we didn't know we needed to be looking for it, and really decimated the population in that field, and really reduced the yield. So we're going to take a break from our regularly scheduled program, get this 43 acres sprayed, and hopefully get back to the shop and get into some other stuff like corn maze. And man alive, look at that cotton right there, boy. She's just shining, soaking up this heat and soaking up that sunlight. All right, here's one right here that's been girdled. See, the plant's not looking too healthy. It looks like it's about to die, and I know the camera probably won't focus in, but if you look right there, right where my fingernail is, you can see where the stalk is thinner. That's where a 3-cornered alfalfa hopper has girdled all the way around the stem, and this plant is on its way to dying right here. So look at the one next to it. All right, I'm not seeing any damage on that one, and not seeing any damage on that one. You know, seeing that one plant, you know, they're out here, they got to die. Corn maze, got a grand total of 7.5 acres to plant out here at the Zombie Trail paintball. We got about 4 acres worth of corn maze here to plant, and then we got a little cornfield about 3.5 acres that the trailers drive around Zombie's hideout in. We'll get this planted in corn, and the reason we're planting it this late is, well, the Zombie Trail doesn't begin until October 1st, and well, plant corn normal time, well, it's going to be dried and ready to harvest sometime around the first part of September, you know, a full month before the corn maze. So we want this stuff to stay green and strong for as long as possible so it can stand up to the abuse of people going through there. You know, we don't want half the corn starting to fall down before the Zombie Trail even starts. Because trust me, the corn here in this corn maze, it takes some abuse. People trying to find their way through it at night and then getting frustrated and then cutting across roads, and then of course you got a lot of people ripping ear off and whatnot. So the variety we picked, I can't remember the number, it was a decal variety that the dealer said was really, it was a long season, I think it's 117 day corn. Said it had some real strong stalks on it, so yield's really not a consideration on this. More so is having a big, strong stalk that stands up to the abuse. Anyway, Andy's already sprayed it, and he's getting loaded up with nitrogen. We're just going to put about 58 gallons of 32% on here for our fertility, and other than possibly getting a drone in here to spray it with a fungicide, because I don't want to drive through it and cause tracks in it. Be all she wrote for this corn. Just getting one more item checked off the list before we get ready to go harvest some weed. After we get done planting this, got to pull it back into the shop and then change the planter back over to soybeans. Double crop soybeans will be the next item on our list. Now, the one thing we're doing special for this corn is because, you know, our planter's on 38-inch rows, you know, that would be a pretty wide lane for somebody to walk down rather than trying to follow the path. So what we're doing special is, after we plant the first time, we're shifting our guidance line over about 12 inches and we're planting it again, and we're planting at about 13,000 population on each pass. So both passes give us 26,000 population. So you know, basically we're planting twin row corn just to try and narrow those corridors up a little bit to discourage people from walking down the rows of corn and to follow the path. You know, I would like to kind of checkerboard, you know, plant at a 40 or plant at a 90-degree angle from the way I originally planted, but just the way the field is shaped, you know, that'd be pretty much an impossible thing to do. You know, we're dealing with two really small, odd-shaped fields right here with ditches on either sides of them. So it's about the best way we found to make it work, and it's been pretty successful in the past. I must have gotten some of that lambda on my face. It's burning like a
I got something in my eye,
bug
right on the side of my eyes. It's been crazy.
Yeah, well, lambda's some bad stuff. All right, well, got corn maze planted. Next thing, get this truck and stuff ready to go. I'm gonna go run and get some filters for it. Go and get the oil draining on it, new oil in, and pull the filters off, and then I'll show you how to adjust brakes. And look like you already got started greasing it and
yeah,
stuff.
I got the trailer all greased up and should be all good to go. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get the oil change to get the brakes done this afternoon, because tomorrow I got to carry over the best one. We need some new tires there in the back.
All right. Is it doing any kind of alignment or anything on it?
They already did an alignment on it last fall.
So it should be fine.
Should be fine. So let's get that stuff. See if we get that stuff done this afternoon and call it a day. Man, you always like Carter. You making a mess every time.
Hey, at least you know it had a little bit of oil still in it.
When the EPA comes and gets me for oil being in the watershed, I'm gonna give them your name.
Those goes. That's the other Andy.
It doesn't help when the engine block's too low to stick a 5-gallon bucket under there.
No, it doesn't. And the plug was on there just as tight as could be. So.
You say the rebar in the concrete's gonna be safe from rust?
Oh yeah, it is definitely not gonna rust anytime soon.
All right, now we got the oil changed and your Valdez oil slick cleaned up. Let's get some brakes adjusted. We'll start back here on the back where a little bit easier access. first thing we want to do, we want to start the truck up, build up air pressure, and release the brakes, because you can adjust the brakes with them set. So we need to be on a good flat surface, which we are, and release the brakes, and then you can turn the truck off, and we can adjust them. All right, you got the air pumped up and got the brakes released. All right, this right here, like 3/8 mil or 3/8 inch or 9 millimeter will work. It's a little loose on there, but it'll work. This is where you adjust your brakes. This right here is your retaining tab. So stick a screwdriver in there, prise it out, and then to tighten the brakes, I believe you go opposite of righty tighty lefty loosey. So we're gonna go counterclockwise until you feel it stop. That means the brake pads are up against the drum. They can be a little stiff. All right, that's pretty tight right there. All right, so the brakes are set down on the brake drum. So now we need to loosen them back up half a turn. They should be set. I mean, that one wasn't hardly out of adjustment at all. This is over here. Yeah, actually, they were set just a hair too tight. So then you release the tab, and that's all there is to it. Some trailer brakes, which I like better than these, they've got I think it's either right here or right here on the side. But anyway, it's got like a 9/16 head, but a washer that's pushed out around the head where you can't get anything on there. So you put your 9/16 wrench on there, and you press in to push the washer in. The washer is hex, and it holds the bolt in place. So you push that washer in and then turn it. So it's just one thing, not two things you got to mess with. I like those a lot better. I don't know why this has got these style on here or not, but the water truck and this truck have these style brakes on there. So
all right, so now we got 2 done and 6 to go.
all right, oil change, check. Brakes adjusted, check. Grease, check. All right, last thing they do, check the air pressure in the tires. Want 100 psi in all the tires, except for these back here on the back. I'm gonna have 5 of these. I'm gonna have 5 of these put on you, so no need to check them. See right there, getting pretty wore down, but gonna keep this inside one here. Gonna replace these 3 right here, and then these 2 on the front on the other side. Gonna change them, and the 2 on the back we're gonna keep. And while Andy's working on that, I noticed I'm starting to get a small hole in the exhaust here that's just going to get bigger. So I know that pipe's probably going to have to be replaced at some point, but right now I'm just going to try and scab a piece of metal on top of it just to get us by a little while longer before we got to take that thing off. All right, I got a thin piece of metal here. I'm going to weld on here and then bend it over the side, and should fix my leak here. All right, you think she's ready to haul that 40,000 bushels a week we're gonna make to the river?
I think it's good to at least, I think she's ready to at least see her first load.
I'm ready for her to see her first load too.
Me too.
Daddy needs a payday. All right, y'all don't laugh at my do-rag. I'm not wearing it to look cool. I'm wearing it because it keeps the sweat out of my eyes, because I believe Satan has opened the gateways to hell. And they're really close to this farm because it is hot and it is humid out here. But Friday, got some new shoes on my trailer here. Got 5 new tires there, $1,700 worth. And then while driving it over there, I found out that the AC was not putting out very cool air. So got to charge the AC. And now that we got our 7.5 acres of corn maze planted, now we get to change this thing back over to soybeans, changing it out for the last time. Plus kind of picked up some cover crop there on my closing wheels. Got to get them cleaned off. All right, finally got the planter done. Took a lot more work than I thought. Found a gauge wheel messed up, 2 press wheels on the front. units messed up, and then getting everything greased, serviced, front units down, change back over to soybean. Anyway, it's ready to load up the seed, go to the field. So now make sure Andy's got a nice cool ride during wheat harvest. We're charging the AC on here. Yeah, I'd say those pressures are just a little low. All right, next up on the list is our header here, and it doesn't need a whole lot of work. Might need a couple sickle sections need to be replaced, but for the most part, they're still in good shape. This is probably gonna be the last year on this sickle anyway. I think I've been running this one 4 years, but I mean, most of the sickles still pretty good and sharp. There's a couple little dull areas on, but no big deals. But main thing is got a filter change on there, grease, and then these guards. We've also had 3 years on these guards, and the way the sickle works, you can see a dull part on this blade right here, so that's probably going to get replaced. But it's basically a scissor action, and these guards right here, this edge right here, is very critical in the performance of the knife. You need to have a real good sharp edge, so when the sickle pushes the crop through, it's got a scissoring action to cut the crop cleanly without snagging it and ripping it and fouling your knife bar up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a grinder and go right along the edge of each side of the guard here, because it's starting to get just a little rounded off, not bad at all. But I'm going to take a grinder there to give it a real nice sharp edge, and should give it pretty good performance in wheat. And then probably after this year we'll look at replacing all the guards in the sickle itself. So just trying to extend the life of these parts just a little bit longer, because let me tell you, to rebuild a 35-foot head, new knife and guards and everything, it ain't cheap. Got all of them nice and sharpened, got a nice sharp edge on them now. And now I got a couple blades like this one right here, broke off. A couple of them got too bad dull spots, and I'm gonna slip some new knives in here. This isn't something we can use an impact wrench for, otherwise we'll snap these bolts off. It's almost like they made of pot metal. All right, got the header moved out of the way. Now time to get my combine shop. Shouldn't have anything to do to it hardly, because we worked on a lot this winter, but there is one electrical problem, and see, I got my laptop, so see if we can track it down. Just pray she starts up here. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, thank goodness. Don't have to jump it off. All right, the electrical problem we got, it's not one that's going to affect us with wheat, because we're probably not going to be harvesting with the lights on. It says right here, I've got a short somewhere in the wiring for the rear work light switch. So I got a laptop here, going to try and see if we can track it down. All right, you can see right here, rear work light switch shorted to low source, and it's active. So gonna see if pull up a diagnostics here. I had a couple of people ask about this software program. What am I using to hook up to my equipment and diagnose it? And it's for CNH stuff, Case IH and New Holland. I'm using New Holland EST. It's the part that actually talks to everything on the combine, pulls up codes, lets you do programming, all that kind of stuff. Now, it is available to buy from the dealer, but it's a yearly subscription, and it's really expensive. I want to say it's something like $2,000, $2,500 for the base subscription, then like another $500 per machine, and all this is per year. You can buy this bootleg online, which is what I did. Probably downloaded it from India or something like that. But anyway, I've had real good luck with it. The program itself was something like $500, $750, wasn't all that bad. Now the e-time diagnostic parts, that was pretty pricey. It's something like $1,500, $2,000. But still, the amount of money it saved me on service calls and being able to figure out what's wrong, you know, it's definitely paid for itself. So, kind of leery, you know, purchasing a bootleg copy, especially considering it's coming from overseas and don't know if it's a scam or whatever. But I don't remember the website I downloaded it from. But anyway, I've actually had good luck, and it's well worth it. Really do need somebody to train me on the finer points of the ESD. I mean, I can pull up trouble codes and do a little bit of diagnostic work, but there's a lot of stuff on there that I don't exactly understand how to do. But you know, if you're halfway computer savvy, it can definitely help you with some stuff. And then there's other stuff you still gonna need the dealer to come out and use their expertise on diagnosing and fixing some stuff. All right here we got step-by-step diagnostic on trying to track down what's the cause of this you know, particular fault code. So I'm gonna work through some of these processes and see if I can figure it out. All right, testing continuity between the cab fuse and ground. All right, yeah, you hear that? Yeah, we got a short somewhere here. I've gone through everything. I've unplugged every harness here in the cab that this power travels through. See, on this modern stuff, it's not just as simple as getting 12 volts to the light switch and then it's sending 12 volts back to the lights. All this stuff is on, you know, computers and controllers, and all ties in together. I mean, it was telling me to check, you know, connectors for the main blower relay, the HVAC, the tank extensions, the crop edge scanner, you know, all that kind of stuff. And anyway, I unplugged all the harnesses to try and make the continuity between power and ground go away, and I'm still getting it. So these directions right here are not very good. It just tells me which wires the power goes on in the harness, and then it says locate and repair the short to ground. Doesn't really give me any kind of troubleshooting. So I'm kind of worried the short might actually be in the controller. You know, we've seen that happen before. So looks like it's going to be a service call. Don't know if we'll get it fixed before wheat or if it'll have to be after wheat. Like I said, it's not important for cutting wheat, but we definitely need it for fall. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more productive with my time and do a couple other things. I know we need to check the air pressure in the tires, and this thing should be ready to fill up the fuel and go to the field. I need to grease it too. All right, the last thing we got to do to get ready for wheat harvest is our take a link out of our elevator chain. We're just about out of adjustment right here, so we got to take this panel off right here and take a link out to shorten it up a little bit. Oh, yummy!
Just in time for breakfast.
Tofu, anybody? Yeah, I'd say she's pretty loose there. All right, we got our tension adjuster run all the way up. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to cut it right here, grind off the end of the rivets here, and then down here, and take this whole paddle out, join it back up with a master link. All right, in this case, you're wondering, right here is where we're supposed to replace the paddles at. And you can tell, I mean, you're working inside of a cage right here, not a whole lot of room to work. Plus, you're going to be crouched down here because this is the height, you know, this is the maximum you can get it. So you can see right here why we chose to work on all these paddles all the way on the top of the elevator. Just a lot easier. You're not hunched over, you're not in a tight spot, and you don't have as big area to work in with the paddles. But as long as you got somebody good starting and stopping the motor, it's definitely a whole lot easier. Finally got the links out there. Just like that. All right, got it fastened back together. Reckon we ready to tighten it up. So get back here and run it down, and I'll check the tension on it. All right, I think we're ready to turn it on, run it around, get some more slack out of it. Alright, that's about the perfect tension right there. Alright, button this back up, this job will be done.